Hello everyone, I decided I'd do a second video to go along with the last one I did, and I was throwing these about yesterday and I thought came across my mind, were there any other particular ways that these could be thrown? Right, you want to go now? Go on, off you go. So the two ways I found was over the opposite shoulder and to the side, but always throwing it so that the point is going down like this. And now I've got to stop the cat from defecating in the damn potato patch. It's the last time you're in the video. So what I was suggesting was a throw from the other opposite shoulder toward the target, but always keeping sure that this lands point down, because I've tried throwing it the other way, like this, but I have more luck with throwing it the other way. I assume it's probably down to the fact that the weight is all coming down on the point when it's coming along like this. So the two new ways of throwing I've discovered is like this and like this. So I'm kind of seeing, what I can do that's like the movies. So we've all seen throwing knives in movies, and I wanted to see how many different ways I could try and do it the same way they do it in the movies. Just to see sort of which ones are kind of fanciful, which ones are a bit fancy, may not really work in real life, or at least won't work with more heavier throwing knives. Okay, so I'm going to show you throwing a few times and we'll see how it goes. So what I found is when I throw it from my opposite shoulder, it's oddly enough easier actually, and getting hits really wasn't difficult, as in when I just did it first go, just for a few experimental throws, I was getting triples, I was getting them in, and didn't really miss that much. The only sort of thing is that I do tend to hit on the one particular side more, but that's obvious because it's coming from the opposite, it's coming from my opposite shoulder, so I'm more likely to hit it on the other side of the target. But it's very much an easy way of doing it. So there you have it. It's two new ways of throwing these throwing daggers. Now, a little bit of revision on how I threw them sideways, which was I would have one arm kind of hanging limp, holding the daggers in that hand, and I bring it up to the top part of my arm and straighten out, just as I would if I was throwing it normally, like that, or if I was throwing it over my other arm. So again, it's about keeping that arm nice and straight, and a lot of it is about knowing when to let go so that it at least goes in a straight line as best as it can. So what I've found is that when I throw it like this, it requires a lot more skill and doesn't really work most of the time. However, when I'm throwing it over my opposite shoulder, it works about nearly 90% of the time, and it's really easy to do. So have a go. I decided to do this other video because I was just wondering about other ways we see dagger throwing, knife throwing in movies. So if you see a knife throwing scene in a movie, by all means leave a comment and suggest it, and because I'd like to have a go, see if I can find any other ways which I could throw these. Just as a bit of fun, suggest it, and let's see what I can do and what I can't do, because now is the best time as ever to start doing some practicing and to see what can and cannot be done. So once again, a quick shout out to Old Ways Wares. That's right, Tom, got it right this time. Old Ways Wares, based in Silsden. They have a wonderful shop, and I know this isn't probably the best time to advertise for them, but I'd rather just get this out anyway because they still do deliveries. But you can buy these off them either in sets of 3 or one single one at a time. I recommend getting a set because it means you have to doesn't mean you have to spend so many times going back and forth to the target to retrieve your daggers. So hope you're all well. Hope you're all keeping safe. Hope you're all keeping vaguely sane. After all, I'm training for what looks to be the Hunger Games, so it's keeping me sane-ish. Hope you're all doing well. Shout out to you all.